Hello world, my name is Jacob Donn, and you are listening to Talk About It, a show that dives deep into substance abuse and addiction to uncover stories of hope and resilience. Today is August 20th, 2024, and we are going to talk about community. Everyone is part of a community, but what role does the community play in prevention? And what is the importance of community education and service? Today on Talk About It, I have the privilege of speaking with Hayat Omar, the Prevention Coordinator and Community Outreach Specialist here at the Bellevue Community Center, who will be answering all our questions on all things community. How are you doing, Hayat?
Oh, it's an awesome day. Every day is a great day.
I agree.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Let's just kick off this interview by looking at your story of prevention. So for our viewers at home, could you walk us through your journey in prevention from the beginning until now?
All right. Actually, my journey in prevention starts when I was young years old. By age of 9 years old, I suffered from, I'm a bipolar. So having this from 9 years old to 24 years old, having that experience, the only way for me to overcome and be more than my disease was to be out there and serving others. By doing that, it helped me feel better myself, and then empowering others empowered me. So I've always been in the world of trying to empower and help people in everything that I do, from the profession that I chose to always, when I serve others, it fills my soul. So gives me better outlook on life.
Absolutely. That is such an amazing philosophy of service and of your journey in prevention. Let's dive right into community, though. Like I said in the introduction, everyone is part of a community. But I'm curious, what is your personal definition of a community and the leaders and the teachers and mentors that comprise it?
So community for me is people who impact others' life to the greater in everything they do, from small to big things. So I am here today because of teachers took notice of me and helped me in my journey. So nobody can make it by themselves. So a community is people who build you up and let you be the best you can be with resource and helping you in any way they can. So just being there. Sometimes it doesn't have to be money, but just the ability just to be there, encourage you. I mean, that's takes you places.
So we're currently recording here in the Bellevue Community Center, which is in the 19809 zip code, which is obviously a community and a geographical area that you are quite familiar with. And I'll get into the events and activities that you participated in. But in this community around Bellefonte in the 19809 zip code, can you give us an outlook of generally what it looks like, as well as some needs and challenges that it is experiencing?
So Bellevue is, I will say, it's my second home. So I volunteered here for 10 years. And when I would come, I feel like it's a place that people care about each other. Each time I come here, it was a sense of people build you up, not tear you down. So always people surrounded by people who want to do better. So that's why I started. Actually, my first volunteer here was doing MLK Day. So they had talk about kids and the youth they were talking about, and they had a service day. And that's how I signed up. From there on, I was hooked coming here. So around here, people doing gardens, that's another one we're doing. There was, 10 years ago, there was this garden you see outside was not the way it looked now. So, and people jumped in, we did a Facebook saying, please help us clear this area. And people just jump and want to help. So I've always sensed of this whole area, the Bellefonte, it's just people, when you tell them there is a need, people jump. The same way with, we have a food closet here at BCC, and people just come in and drop it off because they just want to give back. I think people, if they know there's a need and they have a purpose to do something, people will jump in and do it. And that's my experience here.
You mentioned the BCC, the Bellevue Community Center,
Correct.
Which is the building that we're actually recording in right now. This is the headquarters of the cause. What do you appreciate most about the community center and the people and the events and the activities that all come together here? What makes you continue to stay here at Bellevue?
So it's about the collaboration and the actual word that says, come grow with us. It is really epitomized everything that goes here. So there's different programs, like the cause is here. So the daycare downstairs is here. But everything, there's different pieces. There's chess program, the bots. But every piece is coming together to fit for larger. So everything is the collaboration everything is because we want to empower youth. So there's just program. There's art programs. There's different pieces built together to make sense of just we want to empower kids, because when people have things to do, talking about prevention, when kids are occupied in a positive manner, they're less likely to get in trouble. And that is what everybody here is committed to doing. And everybody works together in every year perfecting the working relationship. Again, is to build a safe space for the youth to be. And that's been my experience.
I want to shift gears now and focus on the different service events and projects that you, as well as your organization, has been committed to. These include fresh food distributions, non-perishable food distributions. Recently, last Friday, as of this time of recording, you also finished up the Oasis event.
Yes.
And all these events, in addition to serving the community and distributing food and other necessary supplies, you teach a lot about prevention. I believe the Oasis event was especially geared towards opioids. But through all these events of service and all these events supporting the community, what do you focus on and what do you emphasize when it comes to prevention?
One is just being aware, there's an issue going on. So part of the coalition that I belong to, I tell people we're trying to complete the circle of care. So as I'm talking to people, I say, what do you see? What are the needs in your community? Because we just want to work together to fit in, assess the needs so we can meet the need. So if you say in this area, in this zip code, 19809, 3 out of 20 middle schoolers have tried prescription drugs. So that's the knowledge parents should know. So that will be one part of, I feel like, prevention is giving parents and community members that knowledge and saying, how can you be a help to that? How can you make an impact? Just pass the knowledge. So educating, informing, and then asking them, how can you be part of the solution? What can you do? Can you join us in this effort to empower the community and keep our kids safe?
Going back to that Oasis event that I mentioned, could you kind of give us an overview of what that is? I know it involved quite a bit of fun activities, but also some My Reason Why. Could you explain, what is My Reason Why and the general overview of Oasis?
So one of the things about prevention is we try not to use scare tactic. And the powerful tool of My Reason Why is asking people the reason, what their purpose, what they love to do. If people have a purpose and a passion, then they're less likely to engage in negative activity. So we tell them, you are the influencer. Be the influence of life and have a reason why you don't do whether smoking, drug, or negative behavior. And when you tie that to them and we tell them, we'll get this video and you will send it out to your community. So you'll be influencer to your family, to your kids. And you never know who will be touched by your story. If yours is an art, and if one person has an art, loves to do art, and that's the reason why you're not involved in drugs, you'll be like, wait a minute, I like to do art. That could be my reason. So that was one of the things that video activity the production crew did with us. We also had Brian Mills do an art. It was a really cool activity. I think he did magnets with the kids and all, again, positive things, showing them if you're involved in positive things, less likely to do the drugs. So, and then we had a gym, which was with Ellis. He did... if you have a break of doing activity and exercise, that helps you. That's actually one evidence-based program that they found they did. So if you're active and doing something positive things with your body, that helps you focus and get re-engaged. So we had all these things set up and they were able to go through and do them. We also had the bots, the Yes Camp, so the robotic. So they gave them a view of with the robots they built. So most of the kids, they were the Bellevue Community campers and also Weston campers came to see this. So they had an opportunity to engage in all this activity. And then at the end, they were doing water slide and do something fun.
Right. That's so incredible that events like Oasis and fresh food distributions, all these service events and projects exist to help support the community. One of the aspects of prevention that these events and others contribute to is prescription medications, as well as highlighting the danger of improperly disposing of them. And for our viewers at home, I have a Deterra bag. This bag is one of, I assume, several methods of properly and safely disposing of prescription medications. So, Hayat, could you tell me, how does this Deterra bag work and some instructions on where to get it, as well as how to spread the word about safe disposal of prescription medication?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Actually, I'm really very passionate about this. We got trained with NNC4, their coalition. They came and gave us a talk, and we've always known about this. But the important thing is most people, if they keep prescription drugs at home, they no longer use, it becomes an opportunity. Again, you don't know who in your family has an addiction. So to protect your kids at home and also your family members, it's like if you don't need it, their place to drop it off. And they do have places like Fairfax, Walgreens have access to drop it off, but not everybody can drive there. So this is a perfect tool that people can say if they have drugs, they no longer use it, they can just put it in. Because what we found out as we're talking to people is people flush it down the toilet or throw in the trash. That environmentally, that's a very unsafe practice. So we tell them, this is an opportunity. You have them, that's great. You can just put it in. It's about 45. You just open it up. It has simple instruction. You put your pill and put water and you just shake it, and then you're safely able to throw it in the trash. So, and we hand it out here at Bellevue, and every tabling event we do, we have it. So if anybody wants to contact us, they are able to come here at Bellevue and get more bags.
On this topic of prescription medications, I know you already mentioned some statistics, but do you have any additional statistics or personal stories or events or things that have happened in your life that have especially impacted you and taught you about the truth about prescription medication when it comes to that topic?
Or actually just Googling, just the more I talk to people, so highly, like, and I just did a study, not study, I would just a website, which probably we will tag in, give the QR code for viewers to, if they want to know more. It was just a high percentage of people who are, whether it's 70, 75, people prescribed for surgery. So that is, most people don't end up taking them. So it stays at home. So that's an opportunity, great, to misuse the drugs. So kids at home, like I said, 3 out of 20 middle schooler, they want to experiment and they just go in and take them. So making it safe. So knowing that, it's like, and then I actually heard a radio, Matthew Perry. He was talking about in its height of addiction. What he used to do is go to people's open house and go through medicine. And that's how he would do. So that made it really important. And like, gosh, locking it is very important. So people like construction workers can come to your house. You don't know if they have addiction, they will go. People who are addicted, they don't care. I even also recently learned that people hurt their animals and get prescription drugs so they can take their drugs. So those kind of things are like, wow. So, I mean, the addiction, Delaware is number 5 in opioid overdose. This is per capita. We are the second smaller test and state, and we have highest death rate. So, and it takes all of us to be aware and do something about it. So it makes me like, when I talk to people like, oh, I need that. Oh, I know. So people think like, yes, I've been in recovery for 20 years. So this allows me to have a conversation with people and say, just pass this information on.
Absolutely. And it is definitely very sobering and unfortunate to hear about the statistics when it comes to Delaware and, of course, the entire country as a whole regarding opioids. One avenue of hope, though, is through the Lions Club, which I'm not a member of, but I've worked and kind of partnered with them a few times. Yes. And you're a member of the Bellefonte Lions Club for, I believe, 7 years. Yes. And I'm curious, the Lions Club is all about volunteering and service. But one of the programs that it administers is the Lions Quest, which is about prevention, especially geared towards teens, which I've actually participated in. For our viewers at home, could you tell us about what is Lions Quest and the methodology and practice that it uses to teach prevention to youth?
So social emotional learning of the Lion Quest is really having the idea of like social awareness, accountability, responsibility, and it takes you step by step. It's about discovery. So when any conversation you have it's already about connecting with what they know already. And then you have discover. And then it's about applying what they have discovered, a new thing. So it has the methodology of, again, it's connecting, discovering, and applying those methods, what they learn. And through that, like I've been teaching Lion Quest for the past 5 years, teaching it from kindergarten to PS DuPont. I've taken it to homeschool, as well as to adjudicated youth. These are kids in prison. So actually the Lion Quest is the most effective. They have done it. They have done a trial in Kentucky. So people in Kentucky who are adjudicated youth who've had this program, the Lion Quest, have had reduces the ability for them to come back. Usually most kids in prison, they have 85% chance of coming back. That had reduced it significantly. And even teaching kids at PS DuPont, what they get out of it by the end, the transformation, taking control to saying, I can, because at the end of the last chapter is a service learning. So kids, again, get to assess the needs of what the community is, what they can do about it. So it walks them through step and they take responsibility of what they can do. So it's an actionable thing. You are aware, self-aware, by the end, what can you do? So it's been amazing.
When it comes to the Bellefonte Lions Club, or really any other Lions Club, could you give us some insight into the connection between Lions Club and prevention, the work that the Lions Club does in that regard?
Yeah, so Lions Club is the largest service organization, and it's their motto is, international peace, humanitarian, and helping support any local clubs to be the best they can. So what I love about it is no matter what your difference is, whether politically or religiously, doesn't matter. The moment you're a Lion, you just become one. You are one unit. And the whole thing all Lions want to do is serve what they need. What's the need of the community? So prevention and Lionism really go together. It's the coalition. So part of our Planet Youth Coalition, the Lions Club is our coalition. They're part of our coalition. Because when we want something done, boots on the ground, trying to say, okay, about the deter back, we want you to, so they're out there in the community. As they're distributing things, they can be doing this. Because they have, I believe, 7 global causes. One is cancer, one is environmental. So the deter back works perfectly. You tell them we're trying to get people not to flush down the toilet. So that really helps. The another thing that actually the Lions Club they're doing is they're collecting a pill box to take to overseas. Empty one. And I'm like, wow, that's perfect. Deter. We want people to use deter, empty it there. And the empty bottles, you bring it in. So overseas, it is very expensive to have so it works well. So having people wants to serve and help others. So it's a perfect match with prevention and Lions, because it's not only, we have 34 clubs in Delaware, but it's a global 1.5 million people who want to have a global impact. So connecting the local issue with a bigger issue is nice.
When it comes to your history with the Lions, the several years that you've been with the Bellefonte Lions Club, what's the person or event or story that has impacted you the most and kind of given you the motivation you need to continue on with both service and especially with prevention?
Wow. Okay. Well, actually, one of the impactful story is one of our line sergeant, Duffy. So she does one of her community when she was out serving the community of Edgemoor. So she started Police and Princess Ball. So, and she did it one community. She wanted a better relationship with the police and the community members. So this is for kindergarten all the way up to high school. Selected kids, give them dresses for one night, giving them a ride with the limo, whatever it is, getting their hair done, and then being at an event where police from different, like you were talking about, different, what's it called? Like they're probation officers, like in all type of police. They're on one night dancing with these kids. So the transformation of watching what the community, right now having better respect, better relationship with others. And it's going to be the 5th year, I think, coming up, the 4th or 5th, I don't know. But that is like, how can be transformed? It's just simple service idea that's taken on and bigger each year. Now, a lot of Lion clubs take part in this. Some Lions club, hand in flowers, everybody contributes, and it's gotten some press. And again, when you see something positive outside, this really makes a difference in a community, and more people involved, the greater the impact is. So we can have more kids attend. So that was like one of the coolest things that I've seen.
Absolutely. It's so wonderful that events like the Police and Princess Ball and so many other events kind of give not only you, but really everyone the motivation and gives increased understanding when it comes to the relation and the connection between community and prevention. Hayat, you've given us so much insight and knowledge into not only prevention, but also community. And I'd like to ask one final question. In your personal opinion, what needs to be done to strengthen the community, to increase awareness of and engagement in prevention, and overall, what needs to be done for not only Bellevue, but any community to thrive?
Instead of people going there to fix, like in saying you have this problem, you need to ask the community, what do they need? right? If one community, it's food is the main issue. If you're giving them whatever opioid awareness, whatever it is, that's not what they're looking for. So asking them what they need and then collaborating to make happen, that strengthen it, because it starts with the need of what somebody needs. When you give them what they need, then they're more likely being open up and, willing to collaborate and be better once they have something they need. So that works with everybody else, any person. Like, you can't get an alcoholic person unless they themselves realize they have an issue, they will not overcome it. So going around, empower people, giving them what they need, find out what they need, and then help empower them with what they need and give it to them, and then ask them to collaborate. Then we all can be better off. Because one thing in Delaware is people work in silos. We are so best when there's enough resources to go around, and we can do better by attending other people's event, empower them, then we can work together.
Absolutely. Hayat, thank you so much for all the wisdom and insight you provided on community and prevention today. For our viewers at home, that was Hayat Omar. She is the Prevention Coordinator and Community Outreach Specialist here at the Bellevue Community Center. My name is Jacob Donn, and we'll see you next time on Talk About It.